Hey guys, welcome to Divinity 2. I'm going to be starting a new playthrough of this game today. I wanted to do something slightly different, so I decided that I'm going to do a staff-only build. When I say staff-only, I basically mean that the combat abilities are all going to be warfare abilities that use the staff's two-handed properties. Basically, I'm not going to have much offensive magic, or at least I'm not planning on having much offensive magic at all. I will be using some minor buffs from geomancy and probably a little bit of pyromancy, stuff like that. You know, I can use fortify, I can give myself haste, whatever, but I'm primarily going to be dealing damage with the staff. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking on Reddit or other different forums about how the staves in this game are useless. I don't think so. I think people just are using them wrong, or they don't understand how staves were meant to be used in Divinity 2. So I'm hoping to shed a little light and show how powerful staves can actually be. So I'm going to go through the character creation. I've already made my character, but I'm going to go through and explain some of the choices that I've made before we get started here. And I'm also going to take my time as we go through. I've probably played through the first act of this game at least 20 to 30 times. So I'm going to try to not go too fast in case you guys aren't up to speed with the beginning of the game. I'm going to go through each dialogue and let the cutscenes play out, all that stuff, just in case you want to be involved in the story. So without further ado, let's hop in and check out the choices here. Now, I did start as an elf. That's because I've never played as an elf, so that's one thing I wanted to do. And I also picked a female just because I thought it would be interesting to have a badass female who beats people to death with her staff. Hopefully you guys think that's pretty cool. And like I said, the elves are the only race I haven't played as, so I wanted to try that out. With Corpse Eater, I can look at people's memories and stuff just by eating their body parts. And then elves also start with ancestral knowledge, which is just a bonus +1 to lore master. Appearance, that's not too important. Alright, let's take a look here. Attributes. For the staff wielder, it's basically going to be all intelligence. I'll actually see. For the most part, it's going to be all intelligence. I might have to pump a little bit of memory and a little bit of wits, but other than that, it's going to be mostly intelligence. I might also pump, a point or two into constitution just for survivability, but the staff actually scales off of intelligence because it does magic damage. One of the great things about this build is, yeah, you're doing melee attacks with the staff, but staves use elemental damage, so they scale with intelligence. Most of my points are probably going to be in warfare, with a couple points in each of the elemental schools just for some support abilities. But the warfare skills are absolutely necessary for this build because you're going to be using skills like Battle Stomp and Battering Ram just like any other melee class would use. I'm starting off with 2 in Warfare and 2 in Geomancer. I'll explain in a second how I got that many points. But the Warfare is going to allow me to use those skills like I just mentioned, and I'm starting with Geomancer so that I can get Fortify. That way, once I get into the thick of the fight, I can Fortify up, get plenty of physical armor, so I can take all those hits. For civil abilities, I think I'm mostly going to pump Thievery. That's one thing I always lack in my playthroughs. I always forget to make a character use Thievery, and then I have a bunch of chests that I can't open up. So I want to make sure this playthrough that I can get as many chests as possible. I'm also going to probably put a couple points into Lore Master because I already have the bonus +1 in Lore Master. Alright, for my starting skills, I picked Crippling Blow because it's pretty good. Like, it does, what does it say here? Well, it doesn't tell you the percentage, but I think it's like 110% damage, or maybe it's just 100% damage, and it does it to multiple targets as long as they are next to each other. Then you have Battle Stomp, which is just your knockdown. You are not going to be using this for the knockdown, because since you're only going to be damaging magic armor, you're not ever going to get past that physical armor to CC the target. This is mostly just there as a way to hit multiple targets if you need to. And as you can see, instead of saying physical damage, it's going to say 23 to 28 air damage. That's because the staff that I'm holding here is an air staff. And one of the main ways of dealing damage as a staff wielder is going to be switching your staff type. That's one of the main advantages. You can really damage just about anybody. You have to carry a staff of each element around, and say you examine your target and say they're weak to fire. You just pull out your fire staff and you're doing insane amounts of damage. Say they're strong against fire. You want to switch away from your fire staff to some other type of damage. That way you can get the most amount of damage dealt. And later on in the game, we're really going to start to pick up a lot of critical chance. So you're going to see insane criticals. And then, like I said, I have Fortify here. That's just for a little bit of extra boosting, because as a staff wielder, you're going to be basically up in the fray with everybody all the time. And Fortify also scales with your Geomancy, and I'm not sure if it scales with Intelligence, but you know, it's going to get really good. You'll see later on I'll have more physical armor than some of the tanky enemies. Alright, that's it for my attributes and skills here. For talents, I picked Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf is amazing. It's not necessary for this build, but I feel like the build is just that much better when you use Lone Wolf. I think at this stage of the game, pretty much every build could use Lone Wolf and benefit. However, like I said, you really don't need it. If you don't play with Lone Wolf, then you're going to be a little bit weaker in the beginning of the game, but you'll kind of even out towards the middle and the end. But this is just really good because I don't want to split damage types. I'm probably going to use a wizard as my secondary party member, and we're just going to wreak havoc across the battlefield with elements. And as you can see with Lone Wolf, each time you level up, anytime you put a point in one of your attributes, you get double points for that, and the same thing with your combat abilities. That's why I have, it says here I have +1 Warfare, +1 Geomancer, but in reality, if you look at it, it'll say that I have 2 in each, because it just gives you an extra for each point you put in, which is super valuable. Another couple skills we're probably going to be picking up. Absolutely, we're going to have to get Opportunist, because since we're going to be in the fray all the time, that's just free damage. And also probably Executioner, because I intend on racking up the kills with this character. For tags, I just picked Scholar. I know I could have picked 2 tags and it would open up a lot more dialogue options, but for this character, she's just going to be like a scholarly kind of uppity type, but you know, she doesn't want to take any crap from anybody, so she's going to beat them down with a staff. And then Instrument, you know, that just plays when significant story events happen. I named her Yvette. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to pronounce that, but I just thought it was a unique, cool name, kind of like, I guess it would be maybe Scandinavian origin. Not really positive. But without further ado, let's hop in the game. Let's get started. We'll get as much knocked out as we can here. I'm going to try to be quiet for cutscenes and whatnot.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And like flies to honey, The monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead, I became part of their story.
All right. So we start off on a prison ship en route to Fort Joy. And like I said, I'm gonna slightly be role-playing, but obviously I'm not a female elf, so I'm just gonna try to play as I think the character would act.
So it wasn't a dream after all.
Oh, I am playing on controller. I know a lot of people have problems with that, probably, but I enjoy playing with a controller, mainly because I played the entirety of Divinity 1 split screen with my friend, and we started a co-op playthrough of this game, so I just kind of got used to playing with a controller. I know you can do a lot of other stuff with mouse and keyboard, but this is just what I'm familiar with for now.
Looks like that collar fits you snugly enough. Nice bit of work, even if I do say so myself. Fair. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters.
I can tell that this is a Lucian-class frigate.
Why?
But why?
Because we're at sea, of course, and have been for several days.
Index fingers pressed.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Source. For good.
I'm just gonna take my leave for now. I don't think I can get this collar off. I'm not very powerful yet.
Good gods! There's been a murder here.
Oh, wow. Of course there's been a murder.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
Why is she letting me so close to the scene? For all she knows,
She looks
I
up
could
at you
be the
with a
killer.
mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course.
Maybe I can. I am a sorcerer after all.
Not with that collar on you, Aunt. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that?
I'm no
An elf
snitch.
of principle. I get it. Wonder how you'll feel when whoever did this does it again. You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
I definitely want to eat this corpse. It's looking pretty delicious. I'm not gonna help her, because why would I want to help somebody who put me in a collar? I don't want to help a jug. Useless. I really don't need to be looting right now. There's a couple things I'd like to pick up in here. Like I said, I've played through the beginning of this game probably about 30 times. So, you know, it can get kind of repetitive. And I don't want to do everything so that, you know, if you're a newer player or if you're just checking this out to see if you'll like the game, you know, you got to leave a little bit of surprises. You can talk to each of the main story characters, like for example Sabine here. I can talk to her. I can talk to Ifin over here. But since I'm doing a lone wolf playthrough, I'm only going to be basically picking up one person to travel along with me, and I think for this playthrough it's going to be the Red Prince. I never pick the Red Prince because I think he's an asshole, but one thing I do like about him is that he's a dragon, and we're going to be trying to cause a lot of chaos on the battlefield. And sorry, I said dragon, but I meant lizard. The lizard people can breathe fire, and they also have a higher resistance to fire. So with him, I can set stuff on, like I can set the battlefield on fire. So let's talk to him real quick, because he's going to be my partner in crime here.
Well, what have we here? A fresh face in this stale hell. Let's size you up, shall we? See if you'll do.
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would a fetching horse. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin, with the intent of inspecting your teeth.
Let's see where this goes.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen worse. After all, one can't expect to find prime merchandise on a squalid little ship like this. Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. The first one is this. Can you cook?
I would say I can hardly tell a turkey from a turnip.
Oh, goodness, no. And don't even mention the demon's testes that are turnips. On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor?
Well, given a sheet of satin, I can make a bum look like a baron.
To feel the caress of satin on my scarlet skin once more. A most satisfactory answer
Can you even
indeed.
feel that with your scales?
On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The delicate art of cosmetics is what I'm after.
I wonder... I can't really think of the last time that I bathed. What month
Just
is
as
this?
I thought. That explains what's besieging my nostrils. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. Let's evaluate,
Oh, I'm just
shall
being
we?
a smartass because I'm a scholar, and I'm pretty sure that I would be able to pick up on his attitude
As per
here.
your own testimony, you can tailor, but you have the taste buds of a dung beetle, and your personal hygiene reminds one of a carcass rotting in the sun.
Oh, yeah, that sounds
That
about
won't
right.
do at all, see? I'm sad to say I must deny you the opportunity to be my slave. Ever so sorry.
Oh, well, I'm mightily disappointed.
I know, but you just don't have what it takes. A good slave's made of sterner stuff, I'm afraid.
Oh, darn it.
Hone your skills, and one day you may just qualify for a position in a lesser household than mine. You keep dreaming, you hear?
I will. I'll keep my head up. I'll hopefully get better at cooking and all that other stuff for him.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good, good. Magister Williams has just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? Glad to hear
I'm
it.
fine. I mean, for someone
You
who's
head on
locked
in
up.
now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
I mean, I'd rather not
Standing
be
at the
here.
center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
Oh, snap. Wendigo, you're a
She turns
beast.
her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
What did you mean There are others whose lives must end.
Means your journey draws to a close. Do stick around for its finale, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply
snap.
removes it.
At this point, I'd be running for the door.
to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts Source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
Oh my goodness. She's like a legit sorcerer.
What's
Or sorceress, I should say. Yay, loot. I don't think they have much, though. I guess that shirt's probably better than what I have. I will take the staff. I'll just take everything so I can sell it. Sell everything. Oh, didn't want to pick up the source collar. I guess it's not too big of a deal. Display case. Oh, that just opens it up. I can get to the other side of that door. Should probably equip my new shirt. Fancy. The one thing I don't like about elves in this game is they're just so raw. Look at her. She just took more clothes off than she put on. Alright, got my staff ready to go. Forgot about that. I'm not going to read every single note and stuff in this game because I've basically read most of them, and I want to leave some stuff for you guys to see if you've not played before. Most of the notes just reaffirm the stuff you already know, but they just do it in writing, and sometimes you need to read books to progress certain parts. Let's pick up that gold. Small poison bottle, mashed potatoes. I just pick up everything so I can sell it later. It's in the sack. Sometimes you find some good stuff. One thing I neglect in this game is healing potion. Resurrection scroll, mashed potatoes. I just take pretty much everything. It's a good rule of thumb. Works out for my playstyle. I typically play a human, and they start off with +1 to bartering, and then I sell everything, and you get rich. Because I feel like half of this game is just figuring out how to get better gear. Like half of the skill is increasing your level, and the other half is increasing the level of your gear.
Damn, that doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
I could just break the door. Let's see if I can do it. I have no persuasion, so this might be a battle. That's tactical. It's been a little bit of time since I played last. Let's
Thank
see.
the gods. By divine grace, who was that howling?
He eyes the collar circling your
Is
neck
your dog?
and reaches a hand towards his blade.
Another sorcerer.
What's going
Like
on
you
here?
don't
What has
know?
he seen?
Mutiny. Did that witch fix your collar too?
There is no mutiny. She almost killed me.
Come on then.
Yikes.
Find a place to hide and stay there.
I was really expecting them to basically try to fight me. I did not think that was going to work. But I'm kind of glad it did work. Although I'm pretty sure I would have killed them anyways. They're not very hard. And my character's a beast, in case you were wondering. Let's see here. I don't even want to put this stuff on, but it's free physical armor. here at the beginning. There's not too many good things to sell on this ship. Most of the good stuff is like the golden cups.
Not long before this thing snaps into splinters.
Let's see. I'm not going to take too long in this beginning tutorial area because there's really not much going on. It just shows you how to do certain things. Ow. It also would help if I had a little bit of telekinesis ability. That's Fane. Could have talked to him earlier, but this is his secondary location after the ship gets attacked. Like I said, I'm not going to waste too much time talking to all the other characters because I'm not going to have them in my party for the most part. I might pick up like one of them if I need something specific done and I don't have the skill for it. Oh, I could open this door really.
Great God, it's pounding on the wall.
The marking on the door was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You recognize the symbol immediately for what it is. A warning of death fog within. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply grey. The color drains from your hand, and you are left numb. It doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
Okay. Oh, how convenient. All the death fog barrels get broken. Either way, I can pick up some liquid here
I need to get out
and
of here
a broken
now.
sword. This is just a tutorial basically showing how death fog is toxic. There's not really anything down there worth looting. You might get like a few gold, but nothing more than that really. Alright. Better get upstairs. I think we'll do this first part, and then once we get to the next area, I'll call the episode. I want to try to keep them around 30 minutes or so, but I don't want to split up the beginning section here. It's not too much longer. A couple battles. See, with Lone Wolf, look how many action points I get to start out with. It's insane. So your first move should be fortify. Makes sense. Then I'm going to see, I cannot reach them, so I'll move forward 1, and then I'll use this. This is just so that I can hit both of them. Boom. And then I wasn't expecting to knock them down. I forgot they don't have any armor. So I can actually move up and then in my turn save 1 action point. Now this turn I can use crippling blow. I don't think it's going to hit both of them though. That's the only bad thing. Oh well. Yeah, no, it only hit 1. But I still have plenty of action points, so I can smash that guy, hurt that guy. Okay. Didn't get past my physical armor. Barely even scratched me. And that's all she wrote. I don't know if you can tell already, but the staff is kind of overpowered. Like I said, I don't know why people think the staffs are so bad. I think it's because they try to use them on casters, and they're really not meant for that kind of playstyle. For one thing, if you're playing a straight up caster, you're not going to want to be that close to people, and you have to be close to people to use the staff. The only bonus you get from the staff if you're a caster is some stat bonuses. Alright, let's get out of here.
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid?
It's time for getting the hell out of here.
You're a yellow-bellied coward. I'm gonna go down to the lower deck and check for survivors.
Thank you! There's a ladder right over there. You can go straight down.
Should just kick that dwarf off the
Be the
boat.
death of us, you hear?
Make him swim to shore. He's literally useless. I hate that guy. Alright, let's rescue some people. Oh, I can get body part now. That's just saying that elves can eat limbs and whatnot, which I already know. Couple gold, no big deal. Let's get into a fight.
There's a wait, Void Vulcan.
It's always good practice to just fortify, even if you think you have enough physical armor for the battle. See, like, in this case, this would not be a good use of this, because I'm not going to be able to reach that second. Actually, you know what, just for a test, because I want to see... It's not highlighting the other Void hatchling, but it might still hit him. Yep. Oh, and it missed him. Oh well, I'm gonna move up and hit. Sometimes it's best to just skip your turn and let them come to you and save a few action points, but this is so early on that it's not even... You don't even have to really think to win these encounters. Oh, good. See, look. Not too much damage. And we're primarily going to be wearing magic armor, so the fact that we're using Fortify is going to be great, because we're going to have pretty good armor for both physical and magic. That's my boy, Red Prince. He's going to be my traveling buddy. But he's mainly going to be pyrotechnic. He's going to be just lighting people up. And he's going to have a couple other things just in case somebody's resisting fire. These people are not being very effective right now. Typically, they do a lot better than this. And dead. Another good one is the pawn, but you can't get the pawn and executioner at the same time, so probably won't get that. And it looks to me like there's only one left. Oh wait, there's two left, but I don't know where the other one is. I'm just gonna skip. Oh no, there's one left. He just showed up twice on the initiative. For those of you who don't know, the top of your screen shows the initiative. It shows character portraits, and the order that they're lined up is the order their turn goes. It's pretty standard stuff. If you've played any turn-based RPGs, it's fairly simple to understand. That's pretty much it for this little section of the game. I can get out of here. Let's go. Although I do want to deal with this chick. She wanted to be snarky to me.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying to stem the bleeding of a gushing wound. With jagged movements, she raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth. Bloody bubbles from.
There used to be an option that you could kill her. Maybe I just picked the wrong thing. Oh god, I'm right here. Somebody just come get me. I literally saved all of you, and you're just leaving me because I slipped. What a bunch of jerks. That thing is pretty ugly.
I have plans for you, child. Rise. Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
High Judge Orivan, huh? Dude's a criminal. But we'll find out later. It's not a spoiler or anything. Alright guys, I think we're gonna call the episode here, and then at the beginning of the next episode we will start Fort Joy. It's gonna be a fun time. Anybody who hasn't played this game, you're gonna think that this is extremely hard, but hopefully after watching me play and seeing the steps that I take to get through different scenarios, you'll really realize that this game you just have to think a little bit. There's no really hard encounters, at least not in the first act. Everything you can work yourself through incrementally and slowly get better.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor?
I hope you guys enjoyed this first part. I know it was basically just a tutorial, but we're really gonna step up and start building our staff build in the next episode, and hopefully we will be kicking it off with a little bit of pizzazz. Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe below. I'll have the next part up within a day or so. Thanks for watching. See you later.